and today this is what we're doing. As you can see, this massive amount of rust in front of me is on a 1940s Hiawatha woman's bicycle. And what I'm going to do is a restoration, not a full restoration, but I'm going to clean this up and try to make it look as best as I can for its original purposes. And if you can see the nice rust and all this chrome that is on this bike. Now, how I clean this is rather, I guess, simple, but it does take a little bit of elbow grease. Now, if you look at this, it's all nice and shiny again. And if you look at this part of the fender, it's all nice and shiny again too. And quite simply, what I use is warm water, a little Comet, and aluminum foil. I make a hard ball, well, not necessarily hard ball, but I make a ball of aluminum foil. I do warm water and a Comet type mixture. I put it on there and I scrub it, and it doesn't scratch the chrome, but it does a really good job of cleaning it. And if you've got a chrome or metal polish cleaner / wax, when you're done, you can put that on and it'll make it even shinier. But just by using the Comet and the aluminum foil ball, it went from this to this. And as you can tell, it does shine just the way it is. And you can still see Hiawatha on this side here as well. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm taking the paint from this to this, which, for granted, is not perfect, but it does look 100% better than what it was, and it brings out some of the original color. And how I did that was some real super fine 1500 wet sandpaper. And I say wet sandpaper because you want to keep it wet as you're doing it. And it will take stuff like this and bring it back to this. And then after that, it can be buffed with like a rubbing compound and then re-waxed. And it will make the bike look a whole bunch better. But this is what I'm working on today. And it's a mess. So I'm trying to give you all more or less a before and after photo so you can see how well the aluminum foil that I use works. And it's quite simply, it is just aluminum foil, nothing fancy. It could be the dollar store foil, any type. Just ball it up. I just make a easier to hold thing for me to scrub with, and it works great. Anyways, as I progress, I'll take a little more video so I can show you guys what it looks like as I'm doing it and going. Alright, now as you can tell, we made a little bit of progress here. If you look on this chain guard, although it's not perfect, it is definitely shiny. There we go. And like, once again, what I said before, aluminum foil, warm water, and Comet. A little wet sanding on that post, and it brought the color back out into it. If you don't exactly remember what it looked like before I did it, you can kind of pan to the left here and look at that. Now you can kind of see the comparison between this part and this part. And like I said, wet sanding. You keep the paper wet when you do it. 1500 grit is what I used. Super, super, super fine. Because you don't want to take all the paint off, of course. You're just wanting to get all the junk off the paint that's been on there for the last 60 or so years and kind of revive it some. Now, what else I did too was kind of do a 50-50 view of what this will look like. Now, if you can tell that this part over here, you can see the reflection of my hand in it actually, is now nice and shiny. Now you see this right here, this side's rusty. If you look over on this side is now shiny. Now see the same thing, just aluminum foil, warm water, Comet. Can't stress it enough. Now you can use SOS pad. Yes, you can, but sometimes it will actually scratch the chrome and make it look a little foggy. Aluminum foil, on the other hand, is softer than chrome, so it will clean out the oxidized rust and all that stuff and not scratch the chrome. So it will be shiny, and this is without wax on it yet. So if you was to use a metal polish after this was done and wax it, it would even be shinier yet, which I would recommend doing anyways, because you want to preserve the shine when you're done. You don't want any more rust popping back through the old spots. So that's definitely something I would recommend doing. I'm also going to take off this rack here. Was not original. That down here is original, and I think it's awesome. I got some of the original striping still on the forks. I got to try to clean all this up without knocking this off, because that's just beautiful looking. My whole point with this bike is to make it look as good as I can, put some wheels and tires on it, and make it a roller again so it can be rode. The only thing that I know I'm for sure going to have to redo on this bike is the seat. The seat pan and everything is still here, but the material is not. So I'm going to repad and reskin the seat so somebody can actually ride it. But I'm not going to repaint this at all. I'm just going to continue with cleaning it, bringing back out the original color as best that I can, and waxing it and preserving it all. So this thing will look pretty awesome, I think, when I'm done. And we're going to keep this nice vintage American history back on the road again, because this is a 40s bike, and let you know it is a Cleveland welding frame as well. It also has the older style seat post. Most of your newer bikes have a clamp that goes around here with a bolt that runs through back here that squeezes together to hold the post. This one does not. It's much like your handlebars. You take the seat off and there's a nut on top underneath like this, and you loosen that, and then it loosens the column and it slides up or slides down. It's the same principle on this, which this is way before they had the squeeze clamps on the post, which I actually like this better myself. But hey, like I said, this is when stuff was made to last, unlike today's bicycles. So once again, as I keep going on this, I will show you the progress as I go. And I hope you all like it so far, and keep on watching. Alright, and this is as far as I've gotten with it so far today. It has taken me probably about 3 hours to get this far, but it is starting to look better. As you can see, the color is starting to come back through, even in places where you wouldn't think it would, because it looked all rusty before. And you swing around back here, even this part back here, I didn't think I was going to get any color back out of this, but I did. So I'm pretty happy with that, because it was pretty rough before. Of course, there's still more to go. Yeah, I got more cleaning to go, but it's going to shine up and clean up nicely. I still have to do the other half of the sprocket, because it's a little dirty down here, but you can see the side that I did do. Kind of gives you that comparison, like I said before. But yeah, I'm happy with it. Color's starting to come out a little bit. The chrome is cleaning up as good as it's going to get for a bike of this age. But yeah, I'm going to keep going at this until it looks as good as I can get it. Hey y'all, just wanted to say thank you for watching this episode of Rat Bike. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm still going to be picking away at this bike and keep going in. Of course, I have other stuff I'm working on too as well. But please, once again, come back, hit that like and subscribe button, and see y'all later. Hope you have a happy holidays. Peace. Bye.